Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. All right, we are back in action. Calm down, Jason. Calm down. It's okay. It's not worth it. It's not worth getting worked up over. Just let it go. Just let it go. Mm, um, just gonna shake it off. I can meditate this away, this anger away. It's not fucking working. How come it's not fucking working? How come? You know what? Hold on. I had ChatGPT write something for me. So I'll read this and then I'll just go from there. Oh, so YouTube's out here acting like I just leaked the Pentagon Papers when all I did was drop a parody of The Godfather in my video. Really? I put an hour setting up the camera angles, pacing the jokes, making sure the timing hit just right, and YouTube's almighty algorithms decide, nah, fam, let's just slap a timeout on this guy. Like, excuse me, it's a parody. I'm not out here trying to bootleg Francis Ford Coppola's retirement plan. What's next? I can't hum the theme to the music in the shower without a copyright claim popping up in my bathroom mirror. So that's from ChatGPT. And yeah, how come Tommy can play the Godfather music every freaking day when he's in there passing kidney stones? Surprised I didn't get a copyright for playing his kidney stone short. And how come him and ALV can do The Godfather for like 6 months? Do like a, what is this? What am I missing here? How come I get dinged and they don't? Do they know something I don't? I know what it is. It's because Tommy's connected. And he gets advantages probably. They probably let him play the Godfather music because he knows people, and ALV's a lawyer and he knows people and they're Italian. That's why they can do that. I get it now. Okay. I get it. Maybe YouTube algorithm is Italian and got mad. Yep, that's exactly what it is, sweet tea. And it was probably ALV and Tommy that narked me off. They probably flagged me with YouTube on that. You know, they probably have a way of watching my show without the viewership showing, and they're holding me back. They don't, you know, I'm sure that's got to be what it is. Tommy knows people. He's got exactly, sweet tea. He's got a guy. So, well, I guess that's what I get for trying to make fun of The Godfather, right? And I definitely didn't put hours into the camera angles and whatever ChatGPT was saying. So, whatever. We'll start over. I thought under 30 seconds in New York. Yeah, I think I played that video for like, I mean, I played it in its entirety. It was like 2.5 minutes. So I should have known better. It is what it is. And I have a video of Larry Ellison, who owns like everything, Oracle, CNN, CBS, all this kind of stuff. And he's talking about the digital ID, digital prison system, where we're all going to behave ourselves, you know, out in public because they record everything. So he's back. What's up, Mike? Yeah, I'm back. Hello, Patty. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm up. Went to bed early last night. I'll go back to bed. It's only 2:40 here right now. I will go back to bed eventually, but thought I'd get up. A lot happened in the last 24 hours, right? I wrote down a few things that I'm going to talk about. I wrote down some bullet points. The ADL. I always hear these acronyms, and I can't stand it because half of these acronyms that they talk about, I have no fucking clue what they mean. And then by the time I realize what they are, it's too late. Like ADL. I have no idea what ADL stood for until today. Anti-Defamation League. You know, it's basically the Israeli lobbyists that you can't say. Here, let me read it really quick. It's a nonprofit organization founded in 1913. Its purpose, originally created to stop anti-Semitism and bigotry. The ADL now works more broadly to fight hate, extremism, and discrimination. Headquarters in the United States, but their work has international influence, especially online, where they track extremist activity and disinformation. Okay. So they are becoming more and more prevalent. The ADL. Okay. And then I went to the ADL's website. I'm going to go back to it real quick. I'm sorry. Bear with me, guys. You guys know how I roll. I go down rabbit holes. It's not going down rabbit holes sometimes is just fucking a waste of time. But at the same time, you know, I'm never going to learn anything until. What's up, Tommy? How you doing? I got a short for you in a second, too. Let's see here. What are we at? Where are we at? Wrong one. Share screen. Okay, this is the ADL. Lawsuits target those responsible for 10/7, seeks justice for U.S. victims. It says the ADL has filed a federal lawsuit against multiple foreign terrorist organizations and groups, including Hamas, PIJ, and PFLP. Here we go with the acronyms again. So I had to look those up. What is a PIJ? The PIJ is the let me get back to my thing here. Palestinian Islamic Jihad, a militant organization founded in 1981, based mainly in Gaza and parts of the West Bank. The U.S. considers them a terrorist group. Then we have the PFLP, founded in 1967, and this stands for the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. Okay, so the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which is basically in Washington, D.C., controls everything. This is their propaganda. Okay. They have filed federal lawsuits against multiple foreign terrorist organizations and groups, including Hamas, PIJ. How do you file a lawsuit against Hamas? I don't understand how these terrorists, so Hamas actually, I guess they own their own, they're actually like part of government, and I don't know. I don't understand how all that works. So anyway, I just find the ADL, piss in a jug. Yes, I like that. I like that. So, and I have a video that talks about the ADL. So that's why because the ADL goes after people they shouldn't be going after. And they're gonna, these are the people that are starting the digital prison system, digital ID, all this stuff that we're going to be heavily surveilled and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to put that in my records of what those are, because I can't stand to read things that I don't understand. And then you have to, try to figure out what it is. And I guess, Jesus Christ, I don't have all fucking day to learn acronyms. I wish they would use fucking, parentheses and let us know what it is. Sorry, I'm just fucking angry this morning. That's a fucking shocker. No, I'm not angry. I'm just fucking concerned for the state of the fucking world, really. So this is Niagara Falls. Are we? Okay, yeah. Got no idea what he's rambling on about. Yes, me neither, Don. Let's just get to the videos, okay? The anti-defamation thing, I'll get to that in a minute. But this is New York, okay? Islamists have completely taken over Niagara Falls, setting off smoke bombs and calling for a global intifada. Intifada, whatever the fuck that is. I think I knew what that word meant at one point, but I have zero idea what it means now. And now I'm really going to fucking get pissed off because I hate when I fucking don't know what shit means. Give me 1 second. Intifada. Intifada, the word. It literally means uprising or shaking off in modern history. It refers to Palestinian uprisings against Israeli rule. I'm going to fucking break my computer. What the fuck are they even talking about? Stop the killing, stop the hate. So let's ask ourselves a question, guys. What is going on here? What is going on here? Acronyms are a pet peeve for me when they assume you know what they're exactly. Like, I know some serious acronyms. I mean, I know what TAMDAR stands for, Tropospheric Airborne Meteorological Data Report. You know, the black boxes that they put in airplanes and weather balloons to measure weather from the troposphere. Or what that Yahoo stands for, yet another hilarious office oracle. Canola, California, what is it? No, Canadian low acid canola, Canadian low acid oil. Yeah, this is New York, Patty. This is New York. Now, here's the thing that we need to ask ourselves. Okay, why are all of a sudden we seeing this huge push of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu is all up in our government. He's always in Washington. He's always at the White House. Anti-defamation, anti-Semitism, blah, 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 blah. Israel possibly could have killed Charlie Kirk and all this stuff. And then people get shut down for it. You can't say that. And then at the same time in New York and in Michigan, we have Muslims taking over. Okay. And they're in support of what Israel is against. These guys are literally at war with each other. And, you know, I mean, it's on record that Benjamin Netanyahu is a warmonger. He says it every day of his life that they're at war. They bomb and we have weapons and this and that. And we must destroy. We must defend. We must fight. We're going to fight. He's the war guy. This is what I want everybody to realize. He and the puppet masters are in control of all of this. There is no difference between Israel and Hamas and the PIJ and the PFLP and the ADL, and all of it is ran by the same people. This is a hostile takeover of America orchestrated by puppet masters. And it is the same group that is orchestrating this. Flying flags and pink smoke. Whether you're flying a flag because you are coming in under the premise of cleaning the streets up for the federal government, or you're flying a flag because you're in support of Palestine, or you're flying a flag because you're supporting, all of this is being orchestrated by the same people. Hamas is on record it was started by Benjamin Netanyahu, by the Israeli regime. So this is all, and why is this important? Well, you know, let's look at a couple things here. Israel pushes transgenderism. They're the ones behind the transgender movement. Okay. They're the ones that, you know, and back when, you can go back to history back in history in World War II, and they're burning all the books and stuff. you know, they were burning, you know, that's what they were burning books about this kind of shit back then, right? And so the Israel regime is behind the transgender movement. That's a whole rabbit hole you can go down. It's well documented. That's been going on for a long time. The first guy that started the first transgender thing was in Israel. Was an Israeli. It's all. That's all Israel. Okay. Now, and in this country, what we have is we have this LGBTQ, and what they've done is they've taken the fact that it obviously is a horrible thing to bash somebody for being gay or for being a lesbian, right? Of course, you know, we're not going to beat people up and not give them jobs because they're gay. That's not how America operates. But they've taken that and they've completely infiltrated it to where now it's completely pedophilia and disgust. And now they're mutilating children, sex change, and I mean, you guys know what it is. It's crazy. It's crazy town. It's fucking crazy town. But on the same token, now we have the Muslims coming in and taking over complete towns like Dearborn, Michigan, where they're doing the call to prayer 5 times a day over the loudspeakers. And then I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but I did not know about this. Hamtramck, Michigan, which is a Muslim taken over city here in the United States, banned the pride flag. And let me go to my notes on that. Yes, the city of Hamtramck, Michigan passed a policy in June 2023 that prohibits flying the pride flag and all flags representing sexual orientation groups on city property / public government flagpoles. That said, the ban is on city-owned property and public flagpoles, not private property. Residents and businesses can still fly pride flags on their own property. Recently, 2025, a federal judge ruled this policy was constitutional and dismissed a lawsuit challenging it. The city policy is framed as a flag neutrality ordinance. It bans all religions, ethnic, political, or sexual orientation flags on public property, except for a small set of permitted flags like U.S. flag, Michigan flag, city flag, etc. And the funny thing is that all of this information is coming from an Arab American News. That's the source that this is coming from. So it's not like you can't fly the pride flag, you know, at your coffee shop or your house, but because the Muslims have came in and taken over the government, you know, that's how it starts, right? And you can't be homosexual in some of those countries, in some parts of certain countries, without being executed. If they find out, they will behead you. They'll kill you. And whether that's 100% true or not in 2025, who's to say? But that's definitely the history of a lot of those countries. And it's, they don't have to behead you to, you know, make it to where you can't operate and do business, you know. And I had this discussion with somebody yesterday. So like, let's take Mom Domney, for example. And I don't know who he's going against, if it's Como or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. You know, what do you choose? Do you choose the guy that's going to continue to allow pedophiles into the school system, to continue to push this garbage, horrible narrative to our children, to allow fentanyl to be, you know, riddled into our country, you know, or, you know, but you keep it American? Or do you vote for a Muslim that is going to ban all of the LGBTQ bullshit? They're going to ban boys from playing in girls' sports. They're going to ban, all that kind of stuff. And the question I asked this person was, well, who do you vote for? And they said neither. So, if you look at it with the lens that they're both ran by the same puppet master, both organizations, then you can really kind of see what's going on. If you can't see that, it's always going to be complete chaos, and you're going to spend your entire life asking questions. Well, how come this? How come that? How come this? How come that? And they're always going to be sleight of hand ahead of you by like 5, 10, 15 steps. It's fact, guys. These people are orchestrating all of these movements. Okay, these people come out of the woodwork. I say it all the time. Like at a certain time of night, they literally just come creeping out of the sidewalks. They literally come creeping up out of the cracks of the sidewalks. And whether they're Antifa or BLM or the Proud Boys or militant groups or these Islamic groups, whoever, they're all orchestrated by the same puppet masters. You can't say, well, it's George Soros or it's Israel or it's this or that and the other. It's the puppet masters. These are nameless, faceless, countryless people that have always been operating in the shadows. And they do this globally, because I know a lot of us are from different countries and different parts of the country and the world. We all see the same patterns. It's like, okay, well, you have to ask questions like, well, how come it's always the same? Like, how come, all of a sudden there's this Muslim group that pops up here in Michigan, but yet now there's a little Muslim group that pops up over here in Australia or over here in the UK, or like, what's going on? Who is orchestrating this? Normal people just don't get up and decide, you know what, let's move to a different continent and, start flying flags and doing call to prayer. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. So if gay people and promote and shove their agenda down my throat, can I go around promoting the straight agenda and brag about straights and how it's normal? Well, see, that's the thing. It's, and that's, of course, like who would want to do that? You know what I mean? And I understand what you're saying. And that's part of what, like, if we can like rise above the chaos and see like, okay, one of the questions that we could ask is like, okay, we know there's puppet masters orchestrating all this whole kabuki theater. Why? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? You can go down the eugenics rabbit hole with the Department of Biology and how they want one race and one gender. A society of basically a genderless, raceless, dumb worker bee, highly medicated society. So anyway, I don't want to get too worked up about the Islamist Israeli thing. I call out Israel a lot, and but at the core of my belief system, I know that this is all being orchestrated by the same people. And George Carlin said it well. He says, I don't get all worked up about flags and stars and bars. He goes, those are for the symbol-minded people. And I'll leave that to them. And that's so true. Okay, now this is one of Donald Trump's best friends, Larry Ellison, Jewish billionaire, owner of Oracle, CBS, CNN, and now TikTok, wants data centralization and total surveillance.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government, but also tell us a bit about what, because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is...
We're not going to watch the whole 5 minutes of this, just a little bit, but this next part's pretty important. And he says, first of all, this is what a country needs to do. Okay. Well, who the fuck are you? You're not no elected official, but let's listen.
Is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily consumable by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
So, and how do we fight puppet masters that are in the shadow? It's a good question, Sweet Tea. It's literally impossible. It's not even on the table, other than just we have to be very aware of what they're doing as much as we can. I mean, it's not something that we can fight. You know what I mean? And why are these weirdos always so creepy looking? Because the people that we pay taxes to are pedophiles. The people that run our government are pedophiles. It is satanic death cults. And the more that you look at it, in that perspective, you realize that this is exactly what's going on. I mean, you could take anybody up there in Washington, D.C. and break them down. There's a few people like Marjorie Taylor Greene that are good people. You go look at these people and what they represent and who they get their money from. I mean, it's the same story all the time. Co-Train, what's going down? Good to see you. Patty, did you ever see Mars attacks where the aliens are saying, we are your friends while killing people? This reminds me of that 100%. 100%. And, we talked about this yesterday, TikTok. Why is TikTok so important that all of these billionaires are, Trump and Xi Jinping themselves are personally going to meet to discuss the acquisition of TikTok? What is it about TikTok? And I was saying yesterday that there's not anything that you can't do, as far as I know, on TikTok that you couldn't do on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. What people want to do is they want to be able to live stream and connect with other people and be able to, be monetized, have ways of people donating to the show, the ability to show content, So, there's some very telling information in what this guy is saying. He's talking about TikTok. Okay. And this is it. It's data centralization. Now, does that mean that they're going to ban other platforms? And they're already making moves like that. YouTube is sneakily changing their guidelines, and they've allowed Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes and some other people to come back on. But those guys are really too smart to fall for the trick. And so, I'm no expert, guys. I'm just, like I said, I'm just calling balls and strikes. Like, this guy is a creep. Why do we have these unelected officials just basically meeting with all the world leaders and saying how it is? It's because our government is a technocratic oligarchy. It's the rich and the tech savvy, the Bill Gates, these people, they have the technology, and technology and information rule. You know what I mean? Like, What good is a weapon of mass destruction if it can be hacked by a computer geek? You know? And I realized, like, you know, you can build a weapon all you want. It don't mean shit if it can be hacked. And everything can be hacked. And then you have levels of hackers, and you know what I mean? It just, I can only imagine what goes on at that level. And that's why, you know, it's just important for it just to be one group of people running everything. And so they create the controversies, they create the emergencies, they create the disasters, they control the entire narrative of the entire world. They don't leave anything to chance. It's the only way that it can work. And so that's why all this is happening. The whole Red Scare till carrying over from, yeah. Well, you know, Red Dawn, the movie Red Dawn was funded by the CIA, believe it or not. And a lot of movies are. Hold on. It says, so it says there's no credible evidence that Red Dawn was directly funded by the CIA, but this is what it says. The producers attempted to get the Department of Defense support. No, here we go. The DoD document summarizes confirmed the film had requests for collaboration and the Air Force objected to some language used in the script, but they do not indicate CIA funding, which is complete bullshit. They never tell you the truth. You could go down that rabbit hole. They fund a lot of movies. So does China. They don't like a lot of symbolism in the movies they have taken out. In fact, they had to change... Maverick's jacket in the new Top Gun movie because China took exception to it. I watched something on that. Yeah, they are, Bambi. You can go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, so this guy is...
So you're really, through the use of this, you're revolutionizing the way government works, right? The services it provides, the way that it operates. What about things like financial management, procurement? How can AI help a government operate more efficiently, more effectively, you know, give a more direct and better service to the citizen?
Well, you know, we have these modern financial systems. So, you know, countries can, and all, so for example, the AI system will help you do that.
It skipped, so we'll move on from there. But you know, what's coming down the pipeline with the social credit score and this kind of stuff, I'll tell you how it can help the countries with financially. What it does is if you don't comply with the social credit system, they ding you points, and then you can't even access your money. You can't go to certain locations. You can't fly. You can't, you know, I don't know what all the stipulations are, but you can look in China. They do it to people in China. You know, there's people in China. I talked to one of my former bosses was Chinese, and he was telling me about a guy that did some shady business practices in China. And so he got banned from flying and riding the train and all this kind of stuff. And that's what my boss was trying to tell me what the social credit score was. He goes, no, it's not nothing bad. He goes, it's just for people that really don't pay their bills and stuff like that. I was like, okay. So Temu, AliExpress is Chinese owned. Yep, all of it is. So was Trump sending troops to Portland? Yeah, I don't know exactly what the situation is there. Here's Michigan again. Nothing but costumes in Kabuki Theater. And you know what? They could put on Black Lives Matter costumes, Proud Boy costumes, Antifa costumes, Republican costumes, Democratic costumes, transgender costumes. It's all the same people, crisis actors. These people are just have been, public propaganda for years now. They just pop up out of nowhere, and they always are holding different flags and signs, and they've always got something covering their identity. So you can't tell that it's the same people over and over and over again.
وطب كربلاء بروحي ندخل الحسينية يحضر ملبس الخدمة واتحزم لابو اليمة واقول يا علي الهمة مثل كل عام عني مثل علي يا حسين لجمن جروحي نمسح صور مذبوحي وطب.
And it's just the context of which they play these videos, on X, the music they play them. It's so gaslit. It's designed to just gaslight America. It's designed to gaslight your response. It's designed to gaslight your emotions. It's just designed to gaslight our whole existence. And again, it's the same people. It's the puppet masters performing kabuki theater. You should pull up that footage. You want to see crazy people? Pull up Charlottesville. I'm sure. We've got plenty of videos of crazy people. Speaking of which.
Probably a trendy 10 years ago. Now their minds wiped by drugs, so they're mentally ill. All the NGOs fund it and then siphon off most of the money, farming off these poor people. The more money we put into homelessness, mental illness, the more homelessness, the more mental illness. It's a plan.
And I'm not putting this, I'm not even sure if that's a man or a woman, to be honest. And I'm not putting this person on TV to make fun of them. It is absolutely sad. How do we know what is being said in that? Yeah, 100%, sweetie. Oh, no, kill America. Or, no, you guys are so stupid for believing this. Or it could be like Walmart has great prices. Yeah, we have no idea. That's a good point. But this lady really represents definitely a portion of our country. This is in every single city in America. And we don't even have to ask, where is that? Oh my God, we need to help her. Where is she? No one's going to ask that because they're everywhere. This is what America, this is what they've done to us. This is not her fault or his fault. This is the fault of the people in charge. You have individual free will and you make your own decisions, but at some point you just, not anymore. A long time ago we had to say, you know what, fuck that. You guys are purposely fucking up our country, and they know it. Sorry, there goes my stomach again. They're purposely fucking up our country, and everybody knows it. The crime, defund the police, all the bullshit, it's all orchestrated by these same people. And why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Why do they want people in wheelchairs suffering like this? Why? Is it because I'm gonna eat a cookie? Is it because they really want to do replacement migration and bring all these other people from other countries over here? Is it because are they not telling us something? Is something going on that we're not privy to? I don't get it. Where are the people fighting for the people of the United States? Anybody in this country that has any type of power is talking about stupid shit. The Russia hoax. Epstein Island. Oh, let's release fucking now Amelia Earhart. Oh, Hamas and Israel and anti-Semitism. What the fuck? Meanwhile, look at our country, guys. It is being, they talk about genocide for Palestine. I don't know, not one Palestinian, not one. I know lots of Americans that are dead, gone, because this country fucking sucks. They turn their back on the veterans. They turn their back on the children. They torture the kids in school. It's the kids that really, it's horrible to what they're doing. This is what this is the real problem. And we all know she's not by herself. Okay, now Candace Owens, this is about Charlie Kirk, Benjamin Owen here. I don't know if you guys follow Candace Owens. She, of course, is heavily attacked. And so if you don't understand what's really going on, you may believe that Candace Owens is a wacko. Or she's doing this for clicks and views, which is all just fucking complete bullshit. She's going to have a show today. Friday, she said she had to hurry up and do a little thing that said Tyler Robinson is not suicidal, but he may end up dead. She's talked to his dad. Nobody turned him in. Nobody in the family believes Tyler Robinson did it. And the only thing that the feds got right was that's his gun. But they have, so just listen to this.
Y'all see what Candace Owens said? Said that she knows for a fact that Tyler Robinson wasn't even on campus the day of the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Also, that his daddy didn't turn him in. That's a lie as well. And also, he hadn't admitted to anything. So, y'all stay tuned. She said Monday she's going to drop it. The facts.
And so you might ask yourself, well, why would they do that? Why would they do this? Why would they do that? How come this? Why would it benefit? All these kind of questions. Well, why do they allow this? Why do they allow this?
Fund it and then siphon off most of the money, farming off these poor people.
You know what I mean? We're being lied to and we're being absolutely tortured and killed off. A lot of people have done drugs in their life, including myself. You know what I mean? It's not the best choice, but people do drugs for different reasons. Young people do drugs because they're partying. A lot of people do drugs because they do want to numb the pain because of all of the fucking trauma that they suffer from. You wake up in the middle of the night and you feel like your fucking brain's on fire. I've been there. So the fact that our government is complicit in supplying drugs that do this to people and not actually help people, because there's drugs out there that if they don't fuck with them, like marijuana, they've destroyed the medicinal properties of marijuana. You can't get any good marijuana anymore. They've genetically altered it, and the stuff you buy in the stores is not even marijuana. And they put these drugs out there so people can be like that. So if you're asking yourself, well, why would they lie about that, Tyler Robinson and all that, then just answer me, why they allow fentanyl. Why they're allowing this. Let's move on. Let's see here. Now, this lady, whether this shows a picture of Erica Kirk acting like she's crying. There's no tears, and they outline that she's flipping off the crowd. And this lady makes a really good point. Now, I don't put too much stock into her flipping off the crowd. I don't even think that matters in context of this. But I believe, and this is my true belief, I believe everything that this lady's saying. It's my own opinion, guys. This is not declassified information. This is just my own opinion.
this is a theater production. But the important thing to understand about that theater is that in this case, I'm seeing something I've never seen before. And that is when they do this kind of theater, and when I say they, I mean the intelligence agencies, when they engineer a theater like this, they always, they like to mock the crowd. I have never seen the mockery this extreme. This is different. This is new. It's a joke.
And I second that. It is a joke. And again, that's just my opinion. And if I offend anybody, I'm not going to apologize, but that's just my opinion. Governments don't care about their own people. No, they don't, Don. You're right. And I'm sure you can draw a lot of similarities between the United States and Australia. And even though you guys are under, you guys have like some type of allegiance to Britain, right? Or something like that. There's still like all these similarities. And we have to ask ourselves, why are these things happening in Australia that happen in the United States? Like, who controls this narrative? It can't be anybody in the Australian government or the United States government. It's got to be somebody else. You know what I mean? Is it the corporations? Is it a shadow government? But that lady, again, I think Erica Kirk is an evil witch, and she's just part of the whole program. Federal agents chase a man 100 yards, tackling him to the ground. I voted for this. This is what the caption says. Now, again, I feel like this is kabuki theater, but we'll watch it.
What's up? Stand by, going 15, stand by.
When I watch this, there's just I can't put my finger on it, but every spidey sense I have tells me that this whole video is bullshit. That literally everybody in this video is an actor. All of them. The cameraman, the police, the guy on the ground, it's all staged. I truly believe that.
Stand by, going 15 on our road.
Why is he being arrested?
Back up. Okay, back up. Look at them. LUKAS BORJA. I did literally nothing. He's just very upset. November 24th, 2003. Oh, shit.
Did they tell you why you're being detained?
Nope. Just grab me. I didn't even fucking do it. I didn't even enter the street.
So not Mirandized, no rights given, and tackled, and then just like allowed, as he's paraded to God knows where, allowed to give multiple interviews along the way. I mean, is that not fucking theater? Is that really how the law works? You don't use the radio and say, hey, we have one detained over here. Bring this fucking squad car over here. So we don't have to fucking conduct 7 interviews on the way to the station. I mean, what the fuck was I just watching? I don't believe any of that nonsense. I really don't. I can't get behind any of it. I think it's all fucking bullshit. How is that fucking real? I'm moving on. Let me play this first, and I'll give you my take.
Understanding what this word actually means exposes everything. Antifa is literally just short for anti-fascist. That's it. It's not some shadowy organization operating in the dark with headquarters or membership cards. It means opposing fascism. Let's pause there for a second for a little refresher on fascism. Fascism is a political system built on control, fear, and loyalty to a strong leader. Fascism attacks democracy. Democracy is a system where people have the power.
You know, this fucking bitch right here, this Israeli influencer, you know, these people just are platforms to just spew their fucking narrative. She is completely just bought and sold, you know, and these people just want to just get in there and gaslight. They're just extremely good at gaslighting, and just the whole conversation, the whole foundation of it is gasoline and a match. And, you know, remember, Israel is behind the Antifa transgender movement. So that's why she's saying this. I'm going to move on.
Toward the Vienna model. We'll go further. Toward the Vienna model, we'll have to go beyond the market. We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market and convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects that offer good homes and strong communities to everyone. We won't decommodify housing overnight, but we know what we have to do, and we have history to guide us.
Mom Domney, Zoran Mom Donnie. We will slowly buy up the housing on the private market and convert properties into communities. And it says he is fully a communist. Well, cops do detain and move people until another officer can transport them. Happens all the time. My husband was a cop, a fed at that. Interesting. All right, what else do we have here? All right, this is our Secretary of War, when I believe he was a news anchor for Fox News or something.
With the axe. Who's going to win this battle with the lumberjacks? That's going to come next. I'm putting my money on Clayton. With the axe. Who's going to win this battle with the lumberjacks? That's going to
I don't know, guys.
battle with the lumberjacks.
That's our Secretary of War cringing and in fear as he fucking completely misses the target. I don't know. I guess that's par for the course for what's going on right now in the world. I just found that kind of funny. All right, this is General Milley.
We don't take an oath to a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that is America, and we're willing to die to protect it.
We're willing to die to protect it. Well, they're not only willing to die to protect it, they're willing to kill to protect it, is what he means. All right, we got a couple more. Candace, I'll save that one. ADL. All right, I love this one. For anybody that thinks that I should calm down.
Hey, Chase, Jerry, nice talking to you.
You too, sir.
And one thing I want you to do, can you just try to calm down a little bit? I know you're very upset, rightfully so. But try to calm down a little bit. And I count to 10, take deep breaths, okay? Can you do that?
100%, Pat.
Why do you want me to calm down? people are
Well, you seem
driving
really
vehicles into our
agitated, you know?
churches. They're driving vehicles into our churches and they're assassinating our leaders. And you're telling me that the correct response is to calm down? You want me to calm down? I tell you what, if I sound too agitated for you, why don't you go watch the Hallmark Channel or Lifetime? Or, I don't know, go to YouTube and type in Enya Only Time. Who can say where the road goes? Where the wind blows? Only time. Why don't you go to YouTube, listen to some Enya, like a sad stay-at-home mother in the 1990s, and then you can calm down. Why don't you go to the spa, fire up some candles, because the big boys are trying to fight back right now against the evil that we face in a totally unprecedented way.
That's
I understand.
right.
I appreciate you trying to be nice and give me some positive feedback here, but if I'm too agitated for you, then you can go watch CNN. If I sound too upset for you, you can go listen to MSNBC. If I sound too, I don't know, aggravated or maybe fired up or keyed up over some of the issues that we face, then go watch The View. Or join Oprah's book club. That's what you should do. Instead of reading The Great Reset or The Great Awakening by Alex Jones, why don't you join Oprah's book club, read Native Son, and tell me how you feel about 19th century racism against the Native American community in the face of espousing capitalistic views? Why don't you go do something like read, I don't know, just some Jane Austen books about late 19th century burgeoning feminism. If you feel like I'm too keyed up for it, I'm sorry that I'm upset. But it seems to me like the only people who need to calm down are the people that are driving vehicles into churches and shooting people trying to have open discourse and debate on college campuses. And look, I'm not trying to compensate for a lack of substance with an increase in enthusiasm here. I'm actually fired up. I think that you should be too. I think that we should all be sitting around our televisions or our computer screens and remembering that famous scene from the movie Network where he shouted, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." I mean, I get it. It's a Sunday night. You got a long week ahead of you starting tomorrow. Maybe you're trying to have a couple of beers. Maybe you went to church this morning. And on Sunday nights, maybe you like to do things like watch a movie, put your feet up, relax, and go to bed early so you can start the week off on the right foot. I'm sorry, but that just means this show isn't for you. You can always just listen to Alex Jones from 4 to 6. If you like Alex, I love Alex. You can tune me out. I don't care. I'm not here to appease the masses. I don't care about having followers. I don't care about having listeners. All I care about is fighting for freedom and keeping Alex Jones on the air. The only reason I do this damn show and come in to work on a Sunday night from 6 to 8 is because I want you guys to support him at the store. I want him to have new content on his show. I want to support him and keep him on the air. It's the only reason I'm doing this. I do it as a
Now he's doing a shameless plug for Alex Jones, but I that's my sentiment. You know, I don't care about followers. I don't care about making money. I just care about the people that want to be in here and listen to, you know, my take on it. And I hope that, you know, we're never going to agree on everything, but, you know, hopefully we have like generally the same type of view of how we would like the world to operate as America anyway. So let's see here. Do I got anything else? So I got an idea. Okay, yeah. So this is Brillin Hollyhand. This guy apparently is the next Charlie Kirk. And if you haven't heard about this guy yet, you will very shortly.
What's up, America? Brylin Hollyhand here, about 30,000 feet up. We are on the way to Arkansas. So everybody in line at the University of Arkansas to kick off my 10-stop campus tour. We are coming to you right here, right now. Stay in line. We have gotten a third room because we have sold out this campus stop 3 times. But we are coming to you. We will fit you in. Students will get priority, but we will make it happen. I cannot be more excited. We are back. We are on the road. We're coming to you one conversation at a time. If you're not at the University of Arkansas, we're coming to a campus near you soon. So check out my tour dates. We'll see you super soon.
So he's a creepy looking individual, that's for sure. But he's already going all over, and he's done interviews with different people. Let's see here. Do I have anything on this guy? guess not. I guess I do not. I looked him up earlier, but yeah, he's only 19 years old, and I don't know, guys. I'm all about Christianity, but I don't like this new movement that they're trying to put in. I don't trust it at all. You know, they just killed somebody, and now all of a sudden they're just trying to replace it with. And let's listen to this guy real quick. This guy is. This is how I got started on the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. So this guy is from the Anti-Defamation League here in the United States, and he compared Hamas killing settlers to the atomic bomb of Japan.
Tell us, if you will, just what these last few days have been like for you and why it's so important that you are appearing here today with the Reverend Sharpton.
Well, so I will be honest and maybe a little more vulnerable than I normally would be. These have been some of the hardest days of my adult life. I don't ever remember a moment like this. I have family in Israel right now under siege and being deployed to the front lines. I have staff who can't locate their family. I have friends who are gone. And I think Ambassador Danone put it well in a context that Americans can understand 9/11, the evil that was perpetrated here. But the scale, Jonathan, the right comparison is Nagasaki. This was like an atomic bomb. And as 40,000 people were killed in Japan when they dropped that bomb in Nagasaki, so too were the hundreds upon hundreds of people who were killed in Israel. And so while I am sad and trying to cope, I'll be honest, I am angry. I am angry with the world that allowed the dehumanization of Israelis and sanitized the terrorism of Hamas. I must say, I love this show.
And this is the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, which is in the United States of America. This is how this guy talks. You know, it's just dangerous shit. And it's people like him, which is why, you know, America is the way that it is, you know, and why we're always asking questions. Well, how come this is this way? And how come this is this way? It's because we got this kind of shit in our government, you know? An absolute fucking gaslighter. I don't know anything about October 7th and how apparently the Palestinians shot up Israel or some bullshit. How the fuck is that our problem? I don't understand how that's our problem.
Today, because we are facing an illegal and unprecedented assault on our civil rights by the Trump administration. I'm your city councilor for District 4, but I'm also speaking to you as a former soldier. And I have a special message to all my fellow veterans out there and those still serving. I'm asking you to remember your oath of service, to engage in that sense of duty cultivated while in service, and use your voice to speak out in opposition to the Trump administration and its unlawful designs for Portland. Show up in your uniform, protest this administration, and talk to your fellow vets, neighbors, and families about how deeply wrong all of this is. For those of you still serving, I want to remind you that your oath of service requires you to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That oath does not grant the president a right.
The more I listen to these people talk, the more I realize I just come to the same conclusion that they're all in it together. It's all just it's just orchestrated kabuki theater, guys. All of it.
Yeah.
Man.
You okay?
Yeah.
No, I have Narcan on me. Stop! Seriously. Stop!
never been touched like.
You can take all of your water. If you want to give us your water, you can take all your water.
Stay on the. Can you stay out of the road? Stay out of the road. Can you stay out of the road?
This is death.
Being on the streets, yeah.
This is death. This is not life.
I didn't realize there was going to be a body floating in the water. I mean, it's sad, guys. You know, out of all the bullshit and the propaganda and everything that's going on, that video right there, it really hits home, man. I see it every day here in Tacoma. You know, you don't have to go very far anywhere, I don't think, in America to see that type of stuff. You know? And meanwhile, our government is concentrating on TikTok and digital ID and foreign policy, war. And this is what we have here in America. You know, a complete, we have a huge portion of adult children, you know, adult babies out there, completely, you know, incapable of taking care of themselves. These people are just gone. There's no hope for them whatsoever. They've destroyed, even our generation, you know, at me 52, like there's a huge portion of you know, the 50-year-olds that are already dead because of drugs, right? Gone. And then the ones that are left are just, you know, like, look at me. I fucking dip strawberries in cupcakes. I make cupcakes for a living, you know, in a nutshell. I mean, I did manage to get a business license and, you know, make it legit, but it just goes to show, like, what has this country become? They need to concentrate. The only way that we're going to get our government, our elected officials to do what we want is we have to make them. We have to make them do it. Can't sit on the sidelines and just expect it to happen because it's not going to. Of course, they're not going to fucking change anything unless we call them out. But everybody knows that that's not, you know, these videos aren't bullshit because we've all seen it. And, you know, and then this is the police. This is in America. This is the police that we have now.
He's not even trying. They're starting to laugh too. I believe in you. Whoever wins, I believe in you. Good God, he's getting it. Well, the cops can't do their jobs. They cannot subdue a 140-pound Hispanic guy, but that guy did. He's not even trying.
I mean, I just, oh my God. I can't believe that's real. I can't even comment on that video. Sometimes I feel like there's a real effort to get rid of middle class, like that, like the people that run everything just want very rich and very poor. 100%, Patty. It's exactly what it is. You know, they want everything. They want us to own nothing. You know, and they've said that. And George Carlin, you know, he said it a long time ago, where in one of his skits, where the poor are here to scare the shit out of the middle class, keep us showing up to those jobs every day. Well, now they've taken away the jobs. So the middle class is gone, and it's either you are, for a lot of people, myself included, like, you stop running on the treadmill, it's game over. You know what I mean? There's no survival. You're going to become one of those people in a very, very short amount of time if you choose to just stop playing the game, And I think that's what we see happening now is like, people that can't play the game anymore end up in that situation because, you're going to do, a lot of these people are just going to do what's around them once they get on the streets. And it's sad. But these police, I mean, these women should not be cops. I mean, it's not saying that they should be cops, but they should not be the ones responding to try to arrest a guy like this. I mean, they're putting everybody in danger. That cop could grab one of their guns and shoot up the place. I don't get it. I don't. I have no. I think that's in America. It may not be, but I'm pretty sure it is. All right. Now, this is what Bill Gates wants to do. He wants to give us a wearable vaccine.
They are now pushing wearables on the population and starting with external wearables and then going into internal wearables in the future. We do know as well, Gates Foundation funded what's called microneedle patch implants that install quantum dots in skin for about 5 years for use as vaccine passports. Again, this is on the National Library of Medicine website. The plan appears to be going from external wearables, get them to wear that, and then you go into the internal wearables, these implants.
The number of the beast, the sign of the beast, or whatever, right? Isn't that what they say? Chip implants. What do we got here?
It's about what I choose to do with my life, right? I think that's what faith is. It's a choice that people make about how they live their life.
You didn't answer the question because under Islam, for example, gays are punished by death.
I don't know that
gays
that's
are
true.
stoned, so gays are not
I
hung
just-
and
I
put
don't
on
know that
buildings in the
that's-
Middle East.
it's
You
not
yourself
what it is.
said that you are a Sharia compliant Muslim.
I didn't say that.
Well, you said that your head touches the floor 34 times a day.
I choose to pray.
We're done. Right.
And I think we're done. How to live
Are
their
you
life.
denying that your religion
because
tells people how to love? And
I
how
don't
to
know what you mean by my
operate?
religion.
Ma'am, I'm a
Chaldean American. I don't know what you mean by my
I'm
religion.
speaking to him.
I know, but you're kind of
Thank you.
you're kind of
There's
saying
a
some
long list.
rhetoric.
Excuse me,
We have other people who'd like to talk to
All
him,
right,
so
would you, if I do, I would like to speak to the candidate. I mean, he
you had enough time to
speak
speak to the candidate.
But why doesn't he want to answer my question?
Because they're
I want to know why Jewish
repeating
individuals.
repeating rhetoric.
Why should Jewish individuals like myself vote for a candidate
Why
who
should-
practices
why
an
should-
ideology
why
that
should
calls
a
for the
Muslim-
killing of
why
Jews
should a
and
Muslim-
Christians?
why-
Abolish ICE, gays, Jews, all of that language is designed to create division. And Laura Loomer there with the thick eyebrows, she is one of the people that works for the puppet masters. And these people are all in the same camp. Everybody there, Mr. Abdul, whether you're Muslim, Israeli, Jewish, it's all ran by the same people. Kabuki Theater. Now this shows Charlie Kirk's hand pop up. Right there. You can see his hand after he's down. And these guys are smiling and they're not performing CPR. What the fuck are they doing to him now? It looks like he's smiling. And then another story that's going to come out today on Candace Owens, this guy right here in the black shirt on the far left it is confirmed that he is wearing Meta sunglasses that take photos and record, and he is seen hitting the record button. So we want to see that fucking video footage, motherfucker. And there's a handoff right there. That guy hands him something. And see, the guy is hit right there. He is recording now with the glasses. He's hitting the record button, if you can see that. It's just really fucking weird. All right, let's listen to Trump or Adam Schiff for 1 second.
You know, just the other day, Forbes came out with their, I don't know, 1,000 richest people, and Trump had moved up by, over 100 spaces. He's already made billions of dollars in the first 8 months of this administration. He's made more money in 8 months than he made in his entire life before that. And it's just graft. It's just using the instruments of his office to grab money. He's getting $16 million from CBS over a bogus lawsuit. He's getting $12 million from ABC over another bogus lawsuit. He's getting a third Air Force One from the Gutteries. So while people on the ground are still trying to pay their rent and figure out how they're going to pay for those ever more expensive groceries, I guess the president would say they should take solace in the fact that he now is a third Air Force One. He has a palace in the sky courtesy of Gutter. That's not helping anyone.
Now, Mr. Adam Shifty Schiff here is complaining about Trump's expenses and all this. Well, and meanwhile, we're paying high rent prices and gas and food prices, which is true. But how long's he been in Congress? And how long's he been a senator? And rent and gas and food was fucking expensive for all through Biden administration. So why wasn't he calling out Biden? He's just complaining that Trump is stealing our tax money and not him. I mean, I'm not sure what his complaint is there. Here's an ad from Bill Clinton and Al Gore.
They're a new generation of Democrats, Bill Clinton and Al Gore, and they don't think the way the old Democratic Party did. They've called for an end to welfare as we know it, so welfare can be a second chance, not a way of life. They've sent a strong signal to criminals by supporting the death penalty, and they've rejected the old tax and spend politics. Clinton's balanced 12 budgets, and they've proposed a new plan investing in people, detailing $140 billion in spending cuts they'd make right now. Clinton Gore, for people, for a change. They're a new generation of Democrats, Bill Clinton.
So you can take away that what you will. Now, this lady showed up to protest. It says an anti-ICE Karen protester's car rolled into the lake after she got out and was trying to confront ICE about arresting an illegal alien.
Well, that sucks. Look at this, Lucy. Her car got lost. Well, that sucks.
So if you're going to get out and do that, you got to make sure you put the e-brake on, lady. What else we got? Why are they banging the musical instrument?
Fucking home.
And this lady is she looks like she's filming, but she's holding paper. She's got pen and paper in her hand, and she's acting like she's filming with the phone. I don't understand that either. Does anybody else see that? I mean, this is what I mean. That this is all. It's just fucking staged bullshit. You got a fucking band playing a fucking ding, 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 ding in the background. And then people screaming, "Don't touch me! Get off me!" And then this fucking bullshit. And this bitch don't even have a phone. She's got paper. She's filming with paper. It's all very strange. All very strange. Let's see here. Patty, I think a few years ago, the country was ready to get rid of the two-party system, and the government had to squash that. Now the two parties are more at odds with each other than ever before. Yes, they are. They love the division. Divide and conquer. Well, that's all most of the bookmarks I had, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm really curious to watch Candace Owens today to see what she says about the latest update on the Charlie Kirk situation. I know people are probably ready just to move on from that, but 50 years from now, they're going to be talking about, well, we've decided to declassify, documents like they do for JFK and all that. So I personally would like to try to get to the bottom of as much of it as we can now. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Patty, Bambi, Sweet Tea, Don, Tommy, all you guys, Mustang Mike. And I will talk to you soon. Have a great morning.